price for a regular gallon of gasoline fell nearly 5 cents this week to average $2.33 across the country. The cost is more than $1 cheaper than a year ago, and gasoline is now at its lowest level since mid-February. West Texas Intermediate oil futures, meanwhile, have bounced off their lows from mid-August, but the current levels, hanging around $46 a barrel, are half of what they were at this time last year. In an interview with UNL Ag Economics professor Dick Perrin last December, we discussed the coming oversupply in oil. We talked with Dick again this week to learn how oil prices are affecting gasoline and ethanol, and started by asking about how oil prices have moved recently.
They've been wandering around for about a year now, but recently we've seen they were down a year ago to $40 range, and then they were back up during the winter and some of the spring. They've been back down now. They up and down this past week. It's hard to keep track unless you pay close attention.
Why is there so much pressure on oil prices? We saw them dip below $40 for a time recently.
Well, basically we just got a lot of production. As many of you are aware, the U.S. has increased its output by about 30% in the last 2 years. Canada has increased its output. Many people are expecting Iran to come back into the market, so we put all these together, and it's a big increase in the supply side. Yeah. And on the demand side, the whole world economy is sluggish, especially China, which is the second largest petroleum user.
What's the effect on gas prices?
In the past, prior to this last year, anytime that oil price has been down and below $50, gasoline prices at the pump have been down below $2. Now, they're not down below $2 in Nebraska, but they are in the southeast U.S. is down below $2. We're still, I think, $2.30 or something like that. West Coast is still $3. So there's a big geographical dispersion in oil prices, but in general, gasoline prices are going to keep coming down as long as the oil price stays below $50, and I'm certain that that's going to be the case. I'm pretty certain that that's going to be the case for probably the next year.
Lower oil prices, lower gasoline prices over the next year at least, or next year, would have what impact on ethanol?
Not a good impact on ethanol, unfortunately. I think with ethanol prices where they are right now, which is around $1.40 a gallon, is just about break even in terms of plants' operating budgets. Some of them are a little more efficient and can continue, but I think it's going to be quite a bit of pressure, especially if the corn prices stay up, which we all hope the corn prices stay up for the farmers' sake. And if the ethanol prices continue to slide, I think it's going to be very difficult for a lot of ethanol plants in Nebraska.
What do you think it means for investment in the ethanol industry?
We're not having much investment in the ethanol industry right now in any case. So I don't think there'll be any disinvestment, but I certainly don't think there's going to be any investment in new plants or new capacity in ethanol in the near future.
It doesn't spur on more investment. It relies more on oil then.
That's right. So continued low oil prices are great for consumers, not very good at all for the ethanol industry, which in turn means not very good if ethanol industry starts to shut back, as it did a few years back. They're going to consume less corn. That's going to bring the corn prices down. So it's not good for ethanol. It's not good for corn producers, and it's certainly not good for the environment, because with oil prices this low, the incentives for any kind of renewable fuels, including ethanol, it makes it very difficult economically for them to continue to develop and grow, and I think that's really bad for the environment.
Dick recently wrote an article for Cornhusker Economics on ethanol and gas prices. We'll link to that on the Market Journal website.